welcome, welcome back, my friends, whomever watches and is interested, my friends. No, really, but welcome back. So I promised this video. I promised it. Well, not really promised it, but I said in my last short that if someone wanted to understand more about what I was speaking of, give a thumbs up. And good old YouTube, I don't know, what is happening with the notifications, but they didn't notify me of nothing. I had to literally go find out if any likes appeared, and honestly I wasn't expecting any because I hadn't gotten any notifications. However, there were a few, so gratitude for those who are interested in hearing more about what I was stating. So the video is slightly late, but not really late. I was just trying to wait around for a little feedback. I mean, I was gonna do it anyway. I was just kind of dragging my feet a little bit more because I was like, well, nobody's liking, maybe they're not interested in the message, but somebody wants to hear the message even if they probably didn't like it, which is fine. Thank you anyway. Thanks for watching it. So getting into it and not delaying, because I don't want to make this too long, but provide enough information to kind of maybe help shift some perspectives. That's mine. I did that though. That's my baby. That's one of them anyway. I got like a tiny museum in here, and that is a different topic for a different day. If you're interested in that, you can let me know. It's not a us, it's just a me. You don't say let us know. It's just me. I just be managing and doing. I'm all of the above. I play all the roles for now. Anyway, off topic. Let's go. So, I didn't take no notes. I probably should have, could have. Always have the option to, but right now I'm just gonna go with the flow, kind of go in my flow state. I'm grateful for my soul being that is connected to the universe. That just kind of flows through me. So, initially I was about to say this is not really a universal message, but yes it is. It's absolutely a universal message. Because you always see something in my hand is because I manage anxiety a lot. And so, I don't know, this seems like my favorite thing right now to hold in my hand because it does a lot of, it's just a sphere, but it makes noise, it can turn, it rolls, all those things. So it has a multi-function of one shape for me anyway. So again, off topic, stay focused, break. All right, so in my previous short, I was speaking of how we have our parts that we play, right? So in that video, I kind of divided the two in a way. And it's not to create a divide, it's because there's balance. And so a lot of times people look at it, everything is like, oh, they're trying to divide the country, they're trying to divide this, and which it does really look like that. And depending on what way you present what you're giving, it can definitely have a negative connotation to it. So I also want to make sure that I'm being very clear, because sometimes I go back and watch my videos and I'm like, maybe I wasn't clear. I have a tendency to speak on a way more metaphysical level, like not intentionally, it's just like it makes sense in my brain. So I don't want to I want to make sure that my communication is crispy so that the message is received well. So I'm going to try and do my best to, first of all, slow down, because no one's rushing me. I don't want to make the video too long, but I don't have to rush it. So carrying on. moving forward, rather. Um, I kind of made it into a divide because it's more so the balance of the polarity. So everything is one pole. You got one pole. This is my remote control. This is the pole. So you got this end of the remote. You got this end of the remote. If you want to turn it this way to kind of create two sides, so you can balance it. This is paint because I paint. It doesn't matter. You probably didn't even see this. Doesn't matter. Anyway, stay focused, Brittany. Okay, so the pole doesn't really matter. Positive, negative, it doesn't matter. It's like batteries. It's just like a battery. You can switch it, flip it. It's probably still gonna make the battery, the remote control work. So I'll even go to the extent of pulling out the battery. So the pole, you got your. So if you turn it this way, positive, negative, you turn it this way, negative, positive, doesn't freaking matter. Use your imagination. You, yourself, are a polarity. Your soul operates. So Sigmund Freud, I don't want to get too deep into this, but Sigmund Freud's idea of like your ego, your super ego, or some people may call it the super conscious or something. I can't remember how they say it. And then you have your middle part, which Sigmund Freud still labels it the ego, but I call it the soul. So it's kind of like that imagery of when you have the angel and the devil energy. You could look at those two things as two separate beings. One means bad and wants you to do bad and do all the terrible things to people, and the other one wants you to do great, the angelic things. And it's really not like that. It's actually just like your the supra conscious or the super ego is like your parent, the one who's trying to like guide you in the best direction. The id is the one that's like, or the which I'm just gonna call the ego, is just the one that wants to be walling out. Not really walling out, but kind of wants to take the free spirited thing to do, not really have any type of, I want to say doesn't want to have consciousness, but it just kind of wants to go for it and not really consider everything, or it's the risky one. It's the one that just likes to take the chances. And then you have your soul that is making the finalized decision. The soul is the you, the inner you, the one who's there in and out all the time. It's not really in and out, but it's like there through thick and thin. Like it's, and not that your super ego or super conscious or super ego, whatever you want to label it, the parental, or that your risky wants to, or not there. It's just more so like your soul is just the one that's driving, and it should always be the one that's driving. And when I refer to they to me is your divine consciousness, your divine, the source, what you're connected to as a soul being. That soul, when you are working on yourself, and when I say working on yourself, when you're doing, even if you're not doing, because I can't say, I'm not gonna be the person who's sugarcoating or acting like I'm doing all the greatest things and making all the best decisions. No, I'll be screwing up a lot, like a lot. But I look at it as I'm ever evolving, like I'm consistently evolving. So like, there's so many different contributions that help align your chakras. I want to make sure I'm staying in line here. So your chakras, if you're watching this video, I'm sure you know what that is, but your third eye is the one that governs that whole, basically, soul, super ego, and your risky id, or your ego. the soul, the third eye, basically is your inner wisdom, your piece that you kind of connect to your crown to basically connect to the divine. That is basically your all seeing. It connects to your all seeing eye, which helps guide you through this thing that we're here as life. We're beings, we're souls incarnated into human flesh to fulfill. Most people have a purpose, even if your purpose is just to have children, to reproduce. Everyone has some type of purpose. And some people may look at it like, oh, well, that can't be my purpose. Yes, it is. Because everyone is not here to reproduce. I don't have plans on having any children. Would I care for a child? Yes, but I don't really know if it's in my stars. I don't know if I wrote that in my plan before I was birthed, before I got here. So, focus, Britney. Let's go. So, basically, the reason I got into the chakras, I really just finished going through a course that I have that's kind of running down the entire chakra system, and it's some really great information. Anyway, but I just finished listening to that, and it just made me think about this, and that's what kind of, I want to say, yeah, it kind of was like a prompting to come and do this message, and also to check to see if anyone responded to if you want to hear more information. So, yeah. So your third eye kind of is the one that leads you to that inner wisdom, that the one that you are paying attention to kind of to guide you through the different promptings that you receive to act from your soul. So I said all of that to say, we all have a part that we play, and based off of how you are as a being in life, really kind of what your purpose is. Some people, it may take a while to get to that, and if you're not really conscious on you being an actual soul here to fulfill more than likely even different purposes or different parts of your life and different aspects of your life, then you may not, you may have even exercised your intuition and you don't realize it. You may have done some things that were inner wisdom, and you just thought it was a whim or coincidence or something, and it's not. If you're conscious of it, you understand that, no, I was actually supposed to do that. I look at everything in life as every single thing you're doing, you're supposed to be doing that. It doesn't matter what it is, pleasant or unpleasant, you're supposed to be doing it. So in this situation, when it comes to the government and what's going on currently, like I said, everything is balanced. So your battery, the battery that I was showing you, the polarity, everything has balance. Everything, even you have balance. I was talking to a friend, or an old friend of mine, a while back, and I was kind of just understanding the law of gender when it comes to universal law, which is just the positive and the negative is just a masculine and feminine. Everything and everyone has a masculine and feminine trait. So let's say my plant, I have a bamboo plant here. I'm not gonna move her because I don't want to move all of this. It's not really all of this. Anyway, the bamboo plant. Let's say if we were to look at just physical traits of the bamboo plant. I'm gonna pull her out just a little bit. You see how? I don't know if you can see him. Let's screw it up. There you go. There's my pretty girl. Her name is Bambooey. Don't come for me with the name, but they got pretty. She's been through some shit. She's been through some shit, but I love her. and she's pretty. She's beautiful, and she's growing so tall. So let's just say physical traits of the bamboo plant. If I were to point out any physical traits in a feminine way, I would say that her leaves, her petals are feminine. They're very flowy. They do whatever they want to do. They grow in any way. They don't. They follow a certain rule based off her design, but they kind of just flow and grow. They start out small. Right here, she's growing a new one, and to me, that's feminine. It's soft. It's creative in its own way. It's light. It enjoys light. It enjoys being free and just being the plant that it is. And then to balance her out, her masculine would be the stalk of it, which is a little bit firmer. It's stronger. It holds her. It's her balancing act. It's the other half of her. It's the other part of her that helps her keep her roots rooted and like provides the nutrition to help her flourish as the feminine part of her, and together they work as a beautiful plant that has its own purposes here on this planet. So if I just have to give a quick reference to kind of help, if you didn't understand already, what the idea or the understanding of feminine and masculine energy or the balance of something, everything has balance. So some, let's say individuals, like plants master this effortlessly. They don't think about it. They just do it. They just are it. They embody that. And you as a being, once you begin to understand who you are, the more and more you actually consciously make the efforts to balance it, you'll end up doing it effortlessly. I personally believe that I balance my masculine and feminines effortlessly. I do it in different ways. Some people may see me, and even in previous videos, I grow facial hair. Not intentionally, it just happens. It literally, honestly just happened. I just went to the doctor the other day to see if it were like some type of, I don't know, syndrome or whatever, something that I have. They couldn't even call it that. They couldn't name it of anything. They couldn't really diagnose me with hirsutism. I just naturally do it. I don't want to. It happens. I'm a female and it happens. And so I don't fight it because obviously my body wants to do that. It wants to produce facial hair, so that's what we're gonna do. But my feelings, the way that I operate in this world, the way that I create my paintings, everything, that through my inner, I express a lot of feminine qualities. I love soft. I'm in my relationships, I love with my heart. There are people who really don't do that. Like they run from it. And so, like outwardly, I may express it's more masculine centered, but I would say I'm more feminine centered and masculine outwardly, but not because I want to be a male or anything. I'm just in my element like this. So, I feel like that's enough for expressing like the balancing act. So because there's balance in everything, and I mean everything, here in the government, well, let me back up. So just really quickly before I go that far, you can have an unbalanced. So let's say, I'm just gonna be right out because I choose to be authentically me in all places, and people who are here and are resonating with this are going to not care what I do with my life. It's not gonna bother them. So I date females, and I want to say unfortunately for me, but I can't say unfortunately because it's just part of my design, part of what I'm supposed to experience here. Um, I've dated many females who have more masculine qualities, not masculine like presenting, but masculine internally. They do not, they run from their emotions. They don't want to address them. They try and compartmentalize, or they will basically just disregard them or do things to distract them. They dive into making money, distract themselves with all this other stuff instead of actually just loving from their emotions, living from their emotions. And I don't say living from your emotions, but at least acknowledging them. Like many females. So I end up dating a lot of more masculine centered from within females, and they're feminine, like very feminine, dainty females. Like, so that's what I mean. Like, you can have an unbalanced, like, you may be feminine presenting, but if you're acting like a guy who could care less about the person who's wanting to actually express love and be loving to you or whatever it may be, uh, to me, you're not balancing it well. Like, you're just hardcore, just, I'm gonna ignore everything, not address anything, and just uh, like push all this heart and emotional and creativity, all of that. I'm gonna shove that down, not pay attention to it. I don't want to, like, you could do a number of things. You could be a poet. You could be just freely express your, it's so many things that you could be doing in a feminine way, but you choose not to. You just have this pretty face and a hard cold heart, and at that point it becomes unbalanced, because then you're not even trying to kind of make the two work together. There's not a either or. You can do a either or, but they're meant to work together. So now moving forward into the government, even the energies within the government, between the government and the people, there is balance. I personally feel that there's a lot of masculine energies which, I mean, visibly, yes, but there's so much power and greed that is being sought after that it's basically distracting them completely from the fact that you have a people you're governing, and that you would hope that you would want the most balanced situation, and that you would hope that our government would want us to operate in harmony together as a people and a government. You would hope that that's the goal. That's not always the goal. So in this situation, because it looks to some so awful, like just treacherous at this point, and we're just getting started. Let's just pin that. We're just getting started, and so that's why I know we, as the chosen, who are chosen to balance the other half of it, we have to do the work. We have to. Like, we don't really, it's either that or lay down to it. So basically, in their part, they are designed to play these roles. There are other theories which are fine and that I'm very open to when it comes to like energies that have embodied these people who are playing these roles, but I won't go that far. That's a bit, is way past this conversation. But when it comes to, the roles that they're playing, all the chaos that's being created, all the hate narratives that are being driven, all of the just kind of reckless behavior, if you ask me, We have to. They are chosen for that. That is their role to play. And the balancing act is us as the people, and even us as the collective of chosen who have been designed to help humanity shift out of this fear narrative. They're designed to create a fear narrative, because if they can create a fear narrative, then they can create a control narrative. I'm not saying that we need to be just out here just acting out, just, I'm trying to find my words. I'm not saying that I'm saying there has to be balance. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying it's not necessary. There is a necessity in what they're doing. However, they don't give a damn about the balance. They don't give a damn about the positive humanity shift to not create the fear narrative. If they can create as much control as they can, that's all they care about. Control, 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 control. And everybody sees it as money. It's not. Money is just a big piece of what they can consider control. Money should just be it's an energy, and it's a tool that you use, but they see it as a power piece. Like, the more money that I have, the more, and for me, understanding energy, I would question, what are you so afraid of? What are you unhealed from that you feel like you have to chase all of this power? Where in you do you feel powerless? But they're not the type of people that's going to question that. And even if they don't do, the mind of those individuals is so hyper focused on power that it's not even in their capacity to go and address what is unhealed within them to want to seek so much power. Anytime someone seeks that much power, is because they're out of control elsewhere. Like, and typically it's within. More than likely, it's within. Like, they use their powers for, and I personally feel like they get into some other stuff. They get into some real deep. Anyway. Yeah, so that's how I look at it. It's like, why are you seeking so much power outside of you? All of your power is within. You should have no need or desire to have that much control and power over others, over money, or like, it's a lot. So, if you know that, within how you as a being, how you are in your everyday life, how you are just with you. And if you feel within your soul that I'm supposed to be a part of this collective of people who are balancing out all of this chaos that's happening. And even if you think it's just a small piece, it doesn't matter. Just play your part. Just play your part. If you feel like you get a prompting, like I just recently received a prompting for something that I know I need to be doing. And for me, because I have a short attention span, I have to get it done. I have to commit first. Once I'm committed, and typically once it's given to me, I'm committed. I don't care how long it takes to do it. I have to do it. But once I'm committed, I then have to act. Because if I don't act, my interest begins to like slowly kind of fade. Like, I know I'm a visionary. So I know that a vision that I've been given is going to take a lot longer. I want to say a lot longer. I have to be patient for it to come to fruition, for it to be manifested in the physical, where people can touch it, interact with it, understand it, and grow from it, or grow with it. But this one is something that's tangible. I can do this without waiting around for the pieces of the puzzle to come together. Yes, I still have to do It's more like a, I want to say it's not a minor task because it's a huge, it's still a puzzle piece. It's still a piece of, let's just say, like, I wish I could plug in a picture here, but I painted a painting once before, and I started out with all the negatives, which is what you would call like the darker, the shadows of the painting. You could still see the painting, but it didn't come to life until I added the light. We are the light. You can see what's going on here in this country, in this government. You can clearly see it. We are here to bring life to the people, life to the others, to like help them maybe even. I'm trying not to like get too much into the recent project that's been brought to my awareness, but because I'll just end up, you know, presenting that soon for others or people to experience. But basically, like, we the collective who are here with a lighter side of, like, we act more from the heart. We internally, more than likely, have a balanced state of being. However, most of us are heart-centered beings. And so, but you know that about yourself. No one has to tell you that. Like, it's only something that you can tell yourself, only something that you will know. And others will know it by the way that you carry yourself, the way that the things that you do choose to present to the rest of the world. So, like I said, we are here to bring light. We are here to show the lighter side, the loving side. And together, you may think that, you know, these things that are happening are so bizarre that this can't be serious. They can't be serious. They can't expect us to take them serious in the things that they're doing that are negatively impacting many lives. But together, it's like a brain. You have your right and left hemisphere of the brain. If you ask psychology, or maybe even, you know, just if you ask psychology says you have the right hemisphere and left hemisphere. Some people are right-brained, some people are left-brained. I believe it's supposed to work all together. I have a painting that I did. I'm not gonna move the camera, but I have a painting that I did with two boxers, and like Muhammad Ali, and the other one's Ernie Shavers, but both great boxers. I call that painting, I call it the internal perennial match, because it's like we constantly fight with ourselves about damn near everything, honestly. We could just kind of like, just let life flow. You don't have to be so uptight about everything. When you're in survival mode and you're constantly focused on you surviving, it's hard for you to act and produce creatively, for you to act from your feminine side, because you're so hyper focused on surviving, so hyper focused, like somebody's trying to take something from you. And it's just like, there's a freer state of life to live in. And a lot of times it comes from when you balance the two for them to work together. So in the government and the people, you know, you're going to have your people who don't even, they don't address themselves, nor they just kind of just like living life on autopilot. So like, we are here to help. I'm not gonna say that, but anyway, we are here to help bring the other side into balance, to balance it all. The polarity itself, the pole itself, is the nation. And they can work as hard as they want to divide. The whole divide and conquer is their mindset. We are here to bring that almost like to a humbling state. And so I'm not going to say anything they're doing is not going to work, but the universe requires balance. It has to. So no matter what you feel like your task is, whatever you feel that you're prompted to do, especially if it is to bring love, light, joy, life, especially if it is to bring those aspects, do it. I implore you to do it because it's ever so important. It's extremely important that it is done. I promise you. Like if I didn't believe so deeply about if I didn't believe so deeply how this all works, I wouldn't be here right now talking to anybody about this because in a left world, um, they may think that I'm nuts, and I don't care. Like I don't have a desire to care. I don't care. It's not my business to care. I can only act for my soul, understand what I'm doing, and everything that I'm called to do. Every single task that I've been instructed to do is because I was instructed from my soul being connected to source. Um, those thoughts that come up for you that sometimes you may do it and you don't even realize why you did it or that you did it, and you're like, huh, well, I guess that makes sense because it was supposed to. You were supposed to do that, and it's more so about being conscious about it. Um, please don't ever think for a moment that the chosen of the chaos that they're not conscious of it. I believe they're very conscious of it. I was watching. It was like a brief clip of Trump's right hand man. Not the vice president, but the other one. He was sitting. So there's like different like hand gestures and things you can do. I forgot what this one. I forgot the name of it. But when you hold your hands like this, it helps kind of like channel your thought processes and things that you when you're trying to make it through a, like, let's say like presenting a conversation or I don't know, a project or something, um, like for focus, and it's other features or it's other aspects that come through with this, but it's almost like a way to kind of channel and focus your message and get it out and make it allow it to flow to you easily. But he was holding his hands like this, and so like he's not unconscious of what he's doing. He's very conscious of what he's doing. And so it's just like with that much intention, we have to be just as intentional. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You have to be just as intentional. I don't give a damn if you were prompted to build a goddamn bucket. Like, I don't care what you're prompted to do. If it is going to bring some type of life, some type of positivity, some type of a drop of positivity, a drop of love, if it's going to bring that to something or someone, do it. Do it. I'm not going to keep going with this. I hope this provided a decent amount of information. I'm grateful to bring it. I'm grateful that somebody wanted to hear it. And I believe people who are supposed to be drawn to it will be. They will be drawn to it. They will hear it. They will feel it. They will get it. And they will begin to act on it. Act on it. Act on it. I promise you, act on it. I implore you to act on it. It's not coming to you for no reason. Thank you. Love you.